Hey y'all, welcome back to the Farmhouse in Town. I'm Lisa, and today is game day for us cowboy fans in North Texas. So I thought we'd head on into the kitchen and I'll show you how to whip up some of my family's favorite game day snacks. Stay tuned. Okay, let's get started on the bacon cheddar fries with homemade buttermilk ranch dipping sauce. I'm just using some of these Kraft beer battered french fries that I found from Walmart. We're going to be cooking up some bacon, and I'm using pre-shredded cheddar jack cheese and also going to chop up some chives. I have jalapenos out because I do have some family members that love sliced jalapenos on their bacon cheddar fries. Today we're just going to be baking this bacon in the oven. I just put a sheet of parchment paper over a baking sheet. I'm going to lay it out, and then we're going to bake it at 375 until it's almost crispy, but not quite, because we're going to cook it again when we put it over the fries. You can see my basset hound Penny. She is starting to make her rounds down there. She can smell that bacon cooking. We got our little deep fryer ready for the fries, and I'm just going to cook a half a bag at a time of the fries until they're nice and crispy. Okay, those are just about perfect. I let them drain there for just a little bit before I put them on the plate. And we're going to go ahead while they're hot and put some shredded cheddar jack cheese over the top. And you don't want to skimp on this part. The more cheese, the better. So let's go ahead and get the other half of that bag in the deep fryer and get those going. And while those are finishing up, let's go ahead and make our buttermilk ranch dressing. We've got the Hidden Valley packet of ranch seasoning, some sour cream, some mayonnaise, buttermilk, and some extra dill. So I'm going to put in probably about 1.5 cups of sour cream, about 3/4 cup of mayonnaise. Sorry, I'm not a good measurer. I just kind of dump and go. It's always delicious. I'm going to do 3/4 cup of mayonnaise and probably about 3/4 cup of buttermilk as well. And then you'll put in your seasoning mix and extra dill and whisk it up really good till it's nice and smooth. Give it a taste. Make sure everything tastes good. Now, if you wanted to, you could add other seasonings as well, like garlic powder. Sometimes I put cayenne pepper in to give it a little kick. You can also put black pepper in. You can just really kind of zhuzh this up with a lot of different seasonings and get a different flavor. Is there a more beautiful sight, y'all? Yum. Okay, so the bacon's ready, and we're just gonna chop that up. And once that's all chopped up, you're just going to put half of the bacon on the bottom layer of fries and cheese before adding the top layer of fries. So just spread those out, top with lots of cheese again. And then you're going to put the other half of the bacon on top of that. You want to make sure that you're using an oven-safe plate for this, because this is going to go right back in the oven to melt that cheese up. You'll notice Penny down there has increased her patrol in the kitchen. She's going to be there just in case some of that bacon happens to hit the floor. Okay, so after you get all that bacon on there, you want to put it into a 375 degree oven and let that cheese get nice and melty. Okay, that is just about perfect. Yum. So we're going to get these out of the oven and finish these up. Y'all, these are so good. Yum. Let me know if you try them. Next, let's make up our blue cheese dipping sauce for the buffalo wings. For that, we're going to need some sour cream, mayonnaise, buttermilk, blue cheese crumbles, some Worcestershire sauce, and some black pepper. The base for this dipping sauce is very similar to the Buttermilk Ranch dipping sauce. You're going to add a cup and a half of sour cream, 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise, a cup of buttermilk, and then you're going to add about 4 to 5 dashes of your Worcestershire sauce and a good amount of pepper. So after you get that all added in, just whisk it up really good, and then you're going to want to add the entire container of blue cheese crumbles to that, and then just fold that in so that your blue cheese doesn't just completely fall apart in your dressing. We'll be making the buffalo sauce on the stovetop, and for that we're going to use a half a stick of butter, Frank's brand hot sauce, some garlic, some mustard, some Cholula hot sauce, a little bit of honey, and some black pepper. So first you just want to melt that butter. And once the butter is just about melted, I add in 2 heaping tablespoons of garlic. You do not have to put that much in. Just use however much your family will enjoy. We just like a lot of garlic in our wing sauce. So let that garlic saute in the butter for 30 seconds or so before you add in about half a bottle of the Frank's and several dashes of the Cholula. The Cholula is going to give it a little bit of extra spice. Then you're going to want to add in a good amount of black pepper, about a teaspoon of honey, and about a teaspoon of mustard. Whisk it up really good. And then you want to bring this to a boil. Once it reaches a boil, you can just turn off the heat. For the actual chicken wings, Costco's Kirkland brand has been my favorite. And my favorite way to prepare them is just to spray them up with some avocado oil and put them in the air fryer. This gets them so nice and crispy with very little effort. And there's Penny again. She always knows when to get to the kitchen. So you just want to add those to your mixing bowl and cover them with wing sauce to however much you want, and then toss them up real good. Sorry about the shakiness here. I'm trying to hold my camera and stir these wings at the same time. Not a good idea. Here they are, all plated up with the blue cheese. I also added some carrot sticks and some celery sticks to it. Doesn't that look Amazing. Yum. All right, let's make some crab Rangoon spring rolls. These are so good. You're going to start out using some spring roll wrappers, and let's talk about that for a second. You can find those in Asian grocery stores, but if you don't have one of those near you, Walmart, Kroger, any of the major chain grocery stores will carry what's called a wonton wrapper or an egg roll wrapper. They're not quite the same. They're a little bit thicker and crunchier as opposed to the spring roll, which is thinner and crispier, but both are absolutely delicious, I promise. So in addition to that, you're going to use 2 bricks of cream cheese. I realize I just have one pictured here, but you're going to need 2. 1 can of crab meat. I'm using the lump crab meat. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce. A few green onions that are finely diced, and probably 1 big carrot that is finely shredded and then chopped. So you're going to want to get all that prepped and then start adding it to your mixing bowl. Once you get all of that mixed up really well, you're just going to take your gallon Ziploc bag and put it all in there. We're just going to make our own piping bag here. Makes the process go a little more smoothly. So now you just want to grab a pair of scissors and clip a small piece of the corner off, and you'll be ready to go. You'll notice here that I have these spring roll wrappers wrapped in a damp paper towel, and that just keeps them from drying out. You're going to want to have a small bowl or cup of water nearby that just to dip your fingers in. This helps seal the edges when you're rolling up the spring roll wrapper. Okay, so you want to pipe about a tablespoon or to 2 tablespoons of the cream cheese mixture onto the spring roll wrapper before you roll these up. And you're going to kind of think of an envelope when you're wrapping these up, and just make sure wherever you fold it that you have a little water there on the edges to seal it, and then you just roll it up. This seems really cumbersome at first, but I promise after you do a few, you kind of get in a groove and it doesn't take so long and you don't feel like you're all thumbs. All right, there's our first one. So we only have about 400 left to make. Just kidding, we're not making that many. So another thing, they're not all going to be completely uniform in size. Once you get your groove down, they will start looking more similar in size and everything. But don't worry about it. These are good no matter what. So we are putting these on a sheet pan that's lined with parchment paper, because as soon as we finish up doing all of them, we're just going to drop them into the deep freezer to flash freeze them for a few hours. And we do that because it'll keep the cream cheese from cooking too fast and then squirting out of the spring roll wrapper while they're frying. That's an important step. So here we are. They have been frozen and now they're going into my little deep fryer until they're golden and delicious. So you're just going to take those out and put them on a paper towel lined plate to drain, and you're going to get your next batch going. And while that's cooking, let's get our sauce going. This sauce is super simple. It just has 2 ingredients. It has the Mayploy sweet chili sauce and white vinegar in it. And you can find that chili sauce in most grocery stores. You can make the sauce up on the stovetop if you want to, but it's super easy if you just want to microwave it too, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put about a half a cup of the sweet chili sauce in, and then we're going to use probably, I want to say about 3 tablespoons of the white vinegar. And those two mixed together are so good. It gives you kind of a tangy, sweet, and a little bit of a spice too to dip your spring rolls in. Very good. Okay, so you just want to microwave that on high for about 30 seconds. And when it comes out, it's going to be kind of thin, and that's what you're looking for. A little bit goes a long way with the sauce. And that is it for the crab Rangoon spring rolls. I would love to know what you think of these. I serve these all the time, and they are a huge hit with my family and friends, and they go really fast. Well, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out in the kitchen with me today. I had an absolute blast. The game did not go our way, but hopefully your team won. Take care.